It's Wednesday, and we're going to complete our trifecta of wrestling content here on Pop with another edition of TNA Impact. And this show was aired on Destination America on last Friday evening, and it's centered around a show called Tag Team Gold. Why is it called Tag Team Gold? Well, due to the unfortunate injury to Eddie Edwards, the Wolves had to vacate the TNA World Tag Team Championships. So, that being said, they are putting together a one-night-only tournament to determine the new champions. How do they crown the champions, you ask? Not a traditional tournament. Oh no, it goes a little bit further than that. You have 8 teams. You have 4 tag team matches. The winners of those 4 tag team matches will go on to an Ultimate X match to determine the new champions. Alright? So let's talk about Tag Team Gold, shall we? The show starts off with Matt and Jeff Hardy taking on the Revolution's tandem of Cowboy James Storm and Koya. Now, I mentioned before that you have Manic and Abyss who have worked with Storm and they have been, well, not so successful. Koya is the one who basically kind of needs to be hidden tag team matches right now because he's got a great look and he can hit a really killer riding bomb, but that's pretty much all he has right now. So I don't really see much about Koya yet. But then again, he's being hidden pretty well in tag team matches, so it makes sense that he's James Storm's partner, given the fact that James Storm is the tag team specialist of TNA Wrestling. So let's start off this match, shall we? And Storm breaks out the chinlock. Matt tries to punch his way out. Blind tag into Koya. Matt with a whip reversal by Storm into a short arm closing time. Koya hits a clothesline, gets a cover 1-2, and a kick out. Face first to the buckle, short arm clothesline, and tags Storm back in. He starts pounding away on Matt with the mounted punches. Matt finds a way to punch his way out of his predicament. Jeff distracts Storm, and that allows for him punching his way out of the predicament. Storm with an elbow straight to the back of the neck comes off the ropes, and a clothesline is caught with a side effect by Matt. Tag in Jeff, clothesline, back elbow, whip in reverse, flying forearm off the ropes from Jeff. Inverted atomic drop, double leg, both heels to the midsection, seated drop kick, and of course he knocks Koya off the ring apron for good measure. Storm catches Jeff with a knee lift, cutting him off there, and calls Koya in for the tag. Tag into Koya, he comes in with a double whip, double duck under, and kick to the chest of James Storm. Koya is going for a clothesline, it gets ducked, boot to Storm, Twist of Fate is shoved off into a boot on Koya, and Twist of Fate connects. Last call super kick. Hardy ducks out of the way, and Koya gets clocked with it. Matt with a boot. Twist of Fate on Cowboy James Storm. Jeff hits the Swanton off the top on Koya, and the Hardys move on. After the match is over, Storm berates Koya and slaps him around a bit. I like James Storm as a cult leader. I still don't see the reasoning for some of the people in the Revolution. I understand why they're kind of getting a new birth there, but eventually they're all going to turn on James Storm, and it's going to be rather interesting to see what happens. James Storm is an awesome heel. I really enjoy him as a heel. His promos are really great, too. James Storm is a commodity in TNA and always has been, and he is very deserving of the world title reigns he has had so far, and hopefully thus will have another one somewhere down the line. Matt and Jeff were with Jeremy Borash in the back. He said they haven't been tag team champions in any promotion for 8 years. Someone needs to look into those indie results to see if that's the case or not. It's time to fulfill their destinies and win the tag team championships that have eluded them throughout the years, and that is the TNA World Tag Team titles. Never were Ring of Honor tag team champions, but that's another story altogether. So Eric Young wants his title match against Kurt Angle. He says he deserves it. So he comes out to the ring to furthermore tell why he deserves it. Kurt Angle's ducking him. He doesn't care who he has to beat, who he has to go through, but he wants Kurt Angle one-on-one. Angle comes out, he says, you know what? You got something I want, Kurt. I know you can be beaten, and I know that I can hurt you really bad. Angle responds, says, you know what? You're a lunatic, Eric. You know what? You get your shot next week. So I want one thing from you. I'll give you the shot at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, but you got to give me one thing. I want the real Eric Young. I want Showtime Eric Young. I don't want this crazy lunatic that's hell-bent on winning a championship. I want the determination Eric Young that obviously was TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And EY thinks about it for a second, and he says, okay, Kurt, I'll see you next week. So next week, we get Kurt Angle defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Showtime Eric Young. Should be a great match. So Kenny King and Low Ki are bullying Rockstar Spud in the back. Mr. Anderson shows up, says Rockstar Spud won't give up, and Anderson basically says, you're just mad because you can't beat him, talking to Low Ki. And Spud beat him twice. So we get our next match. It is the Beatdown Clan's representatives, which is Kenny King and Low Ki, taking on Mr. Anderson and Rockstar Spud. Okay. So, an abdominal stretch by Low Ki on Spud. Spud kind of elbows his way out. Hip toss, and Low Ki cuts off the tag with an elbow drop. Tags in Kenny King, scoop slam. He goes for another scoop slam on Rockstar Spud. He floats over, lands on his feet, and it goes for a roll-up, but the referee is distracted by Low Ki. Kenny King grabs the foot. Enziguri by Rockstar Spud. Low Ki runs and knocks Mr. Anderson off the ring apron, so the tag cannot be completed. They double-team Rockstar Spud. Anderson comes in with a double clothesline, breaks it up. And Anderson tosses Spud near the corner so he can make the tag. He does so. Clothesline to Kenny King. Clothesline to Low Ki. Back elbow to Kenny King. And he nails Kenny King with a spinning spinning neck breaker. Nails the Finley roll onto Low Ki on top of Kenny King. So Ki on top of King. Anderson tosses Rockstar Spud at Low Ki. And he nails him with a snap Hurricane Rana. Sends him to the floor. Low Ki slides in a chair, Anderson steps on to stop it, and Kenny King goes for a shotgun dropkick in the corner. It misses. Underdog connects on Kenny King. Low Ki heads up top. Warriors way behind the referee's back, and Kenny King steals the pin on Rockstar Spud. The Beatdown Clan moving on to the four-way for the TNA World Tag Team Championships and Ultimate X. I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed this match a lot, actually. I enjoyed the Hardys against James Storm and Koya. I'm not big on Koya, I mentioned that before, but that's okay. I mean, there's a reason why these two teams got in the match. So Ethan Carter III has a grand master plan to win the tag team championships. Tyrus is a great partner, don't get me wrong, but he's trying to give a rising star like Bram an opportunity. Bram's unstoppable. He promises to rip Tigre Uno's mask off and shove it down his throat, basically. EC3's like, that's great. Why don't we win the match first? Yeah, he turns into Bill Lumberg here. Good talk, good talk. And Bram bombs out. Ethan is with Tyrus and he says, that's really, you know what? Bram's losing his mind. And I will reap the benefits. So yes, Trouble in Paradise, maybe, right away. Low Ki and Kenny King are celebrating, and the other members of the Beatdown Clan, MVP and Homicide, arrive. Homicide says he wants Kurt Angle. He wants to fight him. They had a really good match before Homicide left the company last time, so let's see where we go from there. We get our third match, and this is the match that I'm confused about. Okay, the match is Ethan Carter III and Bram, and who should they be facing off? Well, if it was me, it would be Micah and Eli Drake of The Rising, but they don't go that direction. They give them a squash match against Tigre Uno and Jay Rios from FIP. So, yeah, this match is short. Shortest of the matches. Most of the time, TNA is champagne. And I'm not talking about the alcoholic beverage. I'm talking about Marty Garner. 8-minute monologue, 6-minute match. Seriously, it is. Like, most of the matches on TNA are 6 minutes. 6-minute TV matches. And then the main event's like 13, 14 minutes. That's how it works. Let's talk about the match, shall we? Bram cuts off Uno's tag, and Enziguri is ducked. Bram drops the elbow, but he finds nothing but canvas. Tags in Jay Rios, springboard leapfrog over top of Bram, clothesline is ducked, 3 punches, comes off the ropes, ducks the clothesline, and satellite head scissors take over by Jay Rios, charges in with the Yakuza in the corner, basically hits the haluva kick here. Springboard shotgun dropkick connects, spinning back kick is caught, and Bram shoves him off to the ropes. High back body drop, but Rios lands on his feet, and side kick to the shin. Springboard ace crusher, take that John Cena, and Ethan Carter makes the save. Uno tosses EC3 to the floor momentarily, comes off the ropes, and Rios gets nailed in the back of the head with that loaded, bionic pad that EC3 has. And that allows for Bram to hit the brighter side of suffering, and EC3 tags himself in, steals the pin, and they're moving on as the third team in Ultimate X. Interesting. Very interesting. Obviously, Tyrus had to play Peacemaker here, because Bram's like, what are you doing? And of course, he's like, I'm just trying to win the match, man. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins, as long as we win, right? So, are they on the same page? We'll find out later on. So, alright, Kurt Angle's in the back. He hopes the homicide is good insurance. That's rather nice of him, because he's going to get the beating of his life. Okay. So Christy Hemme calls all the knockouts to the ring. And by all the knockouts to the ring, I mean the baby faces and Angelina Love. Actually, no. She calls out Gail Kim, Madison Rayne, Taryn Terrell, obviously because she's the knockouts champion, Brooke, and Madison Rayne. So, Gail, Angelina, Madison, Brooke, and Taryn. There you go. Next week is going to be the TKO, a night of knockouts. Should be awesome. Angelina says this should be dedicated to her because she's held the championship the most. And Gail says, you know what, it's about the fans, so it's a chance to show what we all can do in the ring. Madison's like, you know what, I'm the queen bee, and probably the best looking woman in that ring, but that's just me talking. Anyway, next week there's going to be a fatal four-way to determine who faces Taryn Terrell for that Knockouts championship. It's not mentioned here, but Taryn is defending against Awesome Kong at Night of Knockouts as well, but we'll talk about that as we end the show here. Brooke grabs the mic and says she's going to shine. Christy says the new knockouts are also going to be debuting that night. And Taryn says she's passionate about the division and she will prove yet again why she deserves to remain champion. Kong comes out, they all brawl, and eventually Taryn dives on everyone and stands tall. I like this segment. It really built how important the Night of Knockouts is going to be next week. The Bromans are at prep time, and Austin Aries and Bobby Roode play devil's advocate here. They basically are trying to schmooze Robbie E and get him to believe that he's the better Broman, which he really is, but that's another story altogether. And they basically try to trick him, and then they're going to go mess with Jesse later, but we obviously don't get to that. That is our fourth and final match to determine who the fourth team going on to Ultimate X will be. It is Jesse Goddard and Robbie E of the Bromans taking on the reunited Dirty Heels, the It Factor Bobby Roode, and the greatest man who ever lived, A-Double Austin Aries. I really enjoyed this match too. A Bromans very underrated tag team. I'll say this, and I love Roode and Aries' tag team work. I think it's amazing. So let's pick it up off the midway point here. The double whip to Roode. E whips Jesse in and gets reversed by Jesse, which sends E into the boot of Bobby Roode. Jesse goes for a clothesline and gets ducked, and a reverse neck breaker by Roode. Tags Aries in, shoulder to Robbie E. It sends him face first to the top turnbuckle, and Jesse charges in. He eats the shoulder as well, face first to the top turnbuckle. Elbow to E, right to Jesse, and they pinball the Bromans back and forth, does a double, and a double noggin knocker connects, and of course, Jesse falls back. He gets victimized with a slingshot senton, and Robbie E gets nailed with the IED in the corner. Aries charges in, Jesse cuts him off with a knee, and a nice gorilla press slam. The bro down heart attack clothesline is stopped by Bobby Roode pulling Robbie E to the floor. Aries rings the bell of Jesse and comes off the ropes, hits the discus elbow, and Bobby Roode holds the Bromans for the heat-seeking missile, which does connect. Roode whips Aries with the IED. Aries turns it into the double R spine buster, 450 splash, and the Dirty Heels are the final team moving on to Ultimate X. I really enjoyed this match. I love the double team. I love Roode whipping Aries with the IED dropkick, and I love Aries just tossing the opponent into Roode for the double R spine buster. I really like that. And then, of course, the finish with the 450. I really enjoyed that. After the match is over, the Bromans pretty much have broken up there. They start literally fighting in the ring. DJ Zema Ion comes out to try to play Peacemaker again. I've been saying that a lot in this video, it seems like. And sure enough, he gets shoved on his behind, and Jesse leaves, and then Robbie E leaves, so we have seen pretty much the split of the Bromans. Interesting. Robbie E has proven time and time again that he can definitely be a credible singles competitor. He's been an X Division champion before. I believe he's been a television champion before. But Jesse Goddard is, like I said, slowly but surely, he's, hopefully he becomes more than just like a jacked up Matt Lillard, so that's pretty much what he looks like, but that's another story altogether. I've never been big on Mr. Spectacular as a singles guy, but he's got the great looks. He's decent on the mic, but I've never really liked him as a singles guy. He fits better in a tag team, but I don't know if they'll go that direction or not. Maybe him and DJ Z will continue to be the Bromans, or they'll do a new tag team, and Robbie E maybe go babyface, possibly. I know that a lot of fans would be able to get behind Robbie E if he goes the Zack Ryder route, but I don't know if they'll go that direction or not. Robbie E's a babyface I'd like to see. but we'll see if that happens or not. So Kurt Angle and Homicide are fighting, and they fight all the way into the actual Impact Zone. And Angle finally gets the upper hand, and he's got the ankle lock, and here comes MVP Kenny King and Low Ki out. And the drive-by kick connects on Angle, and the BDC celebrate. Here comes Drew Galloway, Eli Drake, and Micah of the Rising. They come out. Everybody brawls to the back. MVP's left in the ring with Kurt Angle, and Eric Young comes out for the save. He has a steel chair. He drops it, and he bombs out, and Angle's left dumbfounded to why this happened. Hey, he said he wanted the real Eric Young. He wanted Showtime. He didn't want the loose cannon, so it's going to be interesting to see where we go with this. Eric Young and locking it up with Kurt Angle next week. Oh, God. Main event time. Ultimate X. Matt and Jeff Hardy. Ethan Carter III and Bram. Low Ki and Kenny King of the Beatdown Clan. And the Dirty Heels, Austin Aries and Bobby Roode. This match was awesome. Totally awesome. Let's pick it up off the midway point as the heel teams are working over the Hardys. Like, one by one. They're all, like, beating the tar out of the Hardys. So, Carter knocks Aries to the floor. Carter and Bram are left in the ring with the Beatdown Clan, and then they start fighting. The BDC with a double whip, double reverse by Bram and EC3, and Tyrus trips up both members of the Beatdown Clan, pulls Kenny King to the floor. Bram and Carter are arguing who's going to climb the structure, and Carter's like, yeah, my arm, man. He's like, and Bram's like, you get up there right now, and Carter's like, whatever, man, and he bombs out. Thinks smartly, gets a ladder, and brings it into the ring. So Bram and EC3 are climbing the ladder there. Hardys get in, and they pull him off. They pinball Bram and EC3 with a ladder. They knock Aries off the ring apron. They knock Bobby Roode off the ring apron. Jeff Baseball Slide drop kicks the ladder into Roode, and the Hardys climb up. Low Ki and Kenny King hit the ladder, and they start climbing up, so all four men are climbing, and in a really awesome move I've never seen in Ultimate X before. If I have, it's something that's not happened in a long time. Tyrus shakes the entire structure, and all four men, one by one, fall from the top of the Ultimate X. That was super awesome. Tyrus gets in the ring to try to take some advantage here. He hits a heart punch on Matt. He tosses Jeff to the floor. EC3 gets up on Tyrus' shoulders, and Austin Aries has a way to stop this. He hits the missile dropkick on Tyrus, making Tyrus give the electric chair to Ethan Carter III. So Bram clotheslines Aries to stop him, and he puts a ladder up in the corner. He whips him in. Aries puts on the brakes. Of course, he's not going to the ladder that easy. Rolling elbow connects, and Roode with a blockbuster off the middle turnbuckle. Double whip. Roode whips Aries into the IED, and of course, double R to Bram. So Bram and EC3 taken out of this. Roode on Aries' shoulder, and they're walking. Of course, that means that Aries is basically facilitating Roode grabbing the cable to climb up. Homicide hits the ring with a riot baton and nails Aries in the midsection. Roode gets pulled off into the Gringo Cutter and sets up the ladder. Homicide gets caught by Matt with a side effect, takes him out of that. Kenny King climbs up the ladder. Matt climbs up. They trade punches on top. Matt with a twist of fate off the top of the ladder on Kenny King. Matt climbs up. Low Ki jumps onto the ladder, and he starts fighting as Jeff gets on top of the Ultimate X, unbeknownst to everyone else. So Low Ki kicks Matt off. Matt shoves the ladder, and Low Ki and Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy dangle high above the ring. And of course, Hardy kicks Ki off. Matt grabs the ladder, climbs up, grabs the other championship just as Jeff grabs his championship. And the Hardy Boys have won the TNA World Tag Team Championships. I really enjoyed this match. Great utilization of all four teams. In essence, I kind of understand why the Rising weren't involved in this match, because they would have had to lose to Carter and Bram, and that would have blown their momentum before it even happened. But it's interesting that they threw a thrown-together team like Jay Rios and Tigre Uno in to eat the fall. Could have been a lot of other teams. Actually, no, TNA's tag team division is kind of small right now, so maybe not so much. I really enjoyed this show by and large. The Hardys against Storm and Corey, it was fine. When Storm was in the ring, it was great. When Corey was in the ring, not so much, but luckily they kept him warm in the apron the most of the time. I really like where they're going with Eric Young and Kurt Angle. I think that's entertaining. I like what they're doing with Kurt Angle and Homicide. I think that's really interesting, too. And Kenny King and Low Ki against Rockstar Spud, Mr. Anderson. It was serviceable. It was an okay match. Bram trying to go crazy. EC3 trying to, like, harness that energy and sick them on Tigre Uno and Jay Rios. Rios actually did quite well in the match. I really enjoyed this Springboard Ace Crusher. especially because John Cena's using it like it's going out of style now in WWE. But, yeah, that was entertaining. Christy Hemme calling out all the knockouts, and the Colossal Brawl with Taryn Terrell standing tall, I think that worked really well. The Bromance collapse at the hands of Jealousy, I think that's really entertaining. Curious to see where we go with this. The main event was awesome. And, yeah, TNA spot on this week. Next week, talking TNA from 2 days from now. TNA World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Kurt Angle defends against Showtime Eric Young. This is TKO, a night of knockouts. And you're also going to see a #1 contender to the Knockouts Championship. It is Brooke, it is Angelina Love, it is Madison Rayne, and it is Gail Kim. And you get the TNA Knockouts Championship on the line as Taryn Terrell puts it on the line against Awesome Kong. You're also going to see some more matches, and I know this because of spoilers. The debut of the Dollhouse. Yes, Jade, the former Mia Yim, and Marty Bell are going to be making their debut. And a little birdie told me that there's going to be a singles match, actually, for Jade. And the match is actually going to be someone that I know very well, and that is independent wrestling superstar Laura Dennis, who most people would know the beautiful Laura Dennis as the awesome Cherry Bomb from the Independence, Canadian Wrestling Independence, and she's done a lot of stuff for the other companies as well. She's done a lot of things for, like, Shine. She was in CCW. She's done a Ring of Honor show or two. So, yeah, she definitely is. She worked for Shimmer, so, yeah. I'm really excited to see Laura Dennis on TNA. Now, granted, this is not the first time she's been on TNA. No. Actually, in 2013, she worked with Gail Kim. In 2015, and on Valentine's Day, she actually lost to Gail Kim again. So she's lost to Gail Kim twice. So maybe she'll win this week. Who knows? So, yeah, that's what we've got. Other things are going to be happening on this show. That should be, like I said, your debuts. It's anyone's guess. Like, I'm reading the results here. I really can't say what all's going to happen on the show, but it's curious to see what's going to happen. I'm sure the Beatdown Clan and the Rising will go at it one more time. I have an idea that there's a good possibility that Magnus is going to be involved with this storyline with Magnus and Mickie James as it pertains to why James Storm saved Mickie James a couple weeks ago from an attack from Bram. I'm probably going to see Davey Richards here. I'm sure we're going to see the Revolution here. James Storm continuing to not be in control. I'm sure Ethan Carter III will still be involved. So yeah, a lot of stuff still to come, and congratulations to the Hardys on finally taking the TNA World Tag Team titles. Really great match. I like the unique finish. Now granted, Ultimate, it was kind of a cop-out if you can really look at it that way. For those of you that wanted a traditional Ultimate X match, even though they broke out the ladder, but I mean, I guess they kind of had to in the situation. But it worked. It worked for me. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, TNA was spot on this week, and I'm really looking forward to a Night of Knockouts coming up on Friday, and we'll get to talk about that a week from today. So that's TNA for this week. If you're lucky enough to be in my home away from home, Orlando, Florida, you can check out Impact Wrestling live on Destination America on May 8th, Friday, May 8th at Universal Orlando. And they're also going to be taping on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. And you can check out shoptna.com for ticket packages that include VIP meet and greets and tickets to all the shows with photo opportunities. And that's for about $75. Totally worth it. If you've never seen TNA live, definitely, by all means, check it out. If you're in the Orlando area and you're near Universal, definitely check it out. It's a great night of action, and you'll enjoy what you see. Trust me. Hopefully, you'll become a TNA fan if you're not already. So, that being said, that is your wrestling recap for this week, and tomorrow we're going to do a little Sip and Snack. Sip and Snack will be focusing on a box I have right behind me. What's in this box? I've told you already before, we're going to do Totino's Pizza Chips. They sent me an awesome package, and I'm going to review that on tomorrow's video. Friday, AJ's movie reviews may or may not have to be extended. I'm not exactly sure yet. We may not have AJ's movie reviews on Friday. We may. It just kind of depends on how my schedule works, honestly. I don't have it as of this moment, since we're kind of filming like 11:30 on Tuesday night. Spoiler. But, yeah, I don't have a schedule at this moment, so that'll allow for the schedule. If AJ's Movie Reviews does not run on Friday, it will run on Saturday, and hopefully Gaming with Ash and AJ's Movie Reviews will be flip-flopping Saturday and Friday. So if you do get AJ's Movie Reviews this week, you will for sure, but you may not get it on Friday, you may get it on Saturday. We will be talking about The Age of Adeline, Monkey Kingdom, Little Boy, And this weekend, AJ and myself are actually going out of town to see All About Eve and Ex Machina. So that's going to be coming up next week with the Avengers. Ex Machina will not All About Eve. That's not going to happen. Brand new verses this week. Got Cryptic comment to be announced. That's not actually the comment. That's literally, we don't know what it's going to be yet. And this Sunday, WWE Extreme Rules. We're going to be talking about that. Ashley and myself, we're doing another podcast coming up late Sunday night. It'll be up on Monday. Along with your NXT recap on Monday. We're talking WWE Raw on Tuesday, once again with Ashley. And next Wednesday, TNA Impact. Thursday, brand new Sip and Snack focusing on root beer. Friday, AJ's movie reviews. The Avengers, Age of Ultron. Saturday, Gaming with Ash. And Sunday, of course, Versus. Which may or not tie into a movie that is coming out soon. See what I mean? Think about it. So that being said, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, help spread the word about Pop. If you haven't yet, go to Facebook. Go ahead, take a minute, click like on our Facebook fan page. It just takes a second. We're almost to 100 likes. Yay! So, yay, that's the first milestone. And then, of course, we hopefully will go up and add a different zero every several months. That'd be awesome. Like, go from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000. It'd be awesome. And if you're able to do that, please do. It is under Sir Owen Disney Pop. It's facebook.com and Sir Owen Disney Pop. If you want to search for it just by name, it's Sir Owen Disney and Pop. If you're sticking on Facebook, you want to send me a friend request, go right ahead. It's Owen Disney. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Sir Owen Disney. And last but certainly not least, you want to see your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions. You want to talk TNA with me. You want to talk WWE with me. NXT with me. Halloween Horror Nights. 'Tis the season after all. I'm sure I'm going to be doing some Horror Nights podcast sooner rather than later. Sounds like it's very possible that's going to be happening sooner rather than later. And once I find out what's going on, you can check that information out on my Twitter. And if you'd like to talk Disney with me, Universal, have travel questions for me, you want to ask me questions I can't answer on here for good reason, or if you'd like to become a popcaster yourself, send your content to siroandisney@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.